Well, hey, we're here with Maggie again at Gunner's Firearms. How are you doing today, Maggie?
I am peachy keen, Jelly Bean. Thank you ever so kindly for asking. How's your day been?
Really good, really good. It's, another hot one, but that's all right. It's morning, so it's early.
Summer in the Midwest.
Summer in the Midwest. And, hey, something I was going to bring up real quick, because we're going to talk about, wow, this was fascinating, because you went to a conference. This is going to be good.
Two
good
conferences.
Stuff. Two conferences. ATF, FBI.
National Shooting Sports Foundation and the 6-hour symposium.
All right, so it's going to be a fun day.
We have a lot to unpack.
To talk about. All right.
Okay, so the first conference that I went to a few weeks back was put on by the National Shooting Sports Foundation in conjunction with local ATF and an FBI liaison for the NICS system, National Instant Criminal Check System, the background checks, right? So we had 3 presenters in that conference. It was an all day. Drove down to Springfield. Shout out to Bass Pro in Springfield for hosting a
Missouri,
really cool conference.
By the way. Yeah,
yes,
there's so many Springfields.
Springfield, Missouri. Bass Pro, Springfield, Missouri, and all the cool people that showed up, all the cool people in the conference room, all the cool people that were presenting, and let me tell you, they were awesome. There's a ton of hate in comments sections for government officials, for FBI, for ATF, and whatever. You guys, these are human beings with normal jobs. They're regular guys, but
well, and it's also who's their boss.
It does matter quite a bit.
Changes, and they're still just doing their job. I agree. They're just boots on the ground.
When we got to the ATF's segment of the conference, they go, "We're actually very pleased with the current direction of things right now. We can't talk about it, but please know that we're happy so far."
I kind of, part of me suspected that.
They didn't
that
like
the boots on the ground probably didn't like the past.
And I will tell all of you all that are just thinking that, only these bad things, these no-knock search and seizures and everything. Kids, those happen for a reason. Those happen for a very, very, very good reason. It's not you they're after. They are after some serious, major criminals. And it isn't you guys that are like, well, I want to buy 5 guns, but I can't do it because they're going to know what I have. And this is, no, that is.
Well, let me ask you this, because I think, if I was just to kind of put my finger on the pulse of America on how they feel about the ATF over the last few years, it's also a lot of the, like suddenly you can't shoulder an AR pistol, and if you do, you're going to get arrested, and then you can't have these guns if they have these features, and then you can't have this gun part, and I think that's really where a lot of us, as just gun-loving folks of America, feel like, well, are we in trouble if we do this thing? Because we see Billy Joe down the road, he got in trouble for that thing. So am I going to get in trouble for that thing? And it just kind of creates, and especially as, there's just policy change after change after change, and new rules. I think that's the fear.
I'd like to know the rest of the story of how Billy Joe got in trouble for that thing. Like there is so much information there that is entirely missing, and you are given an inky dinky tiny little piece of a 1 million piece jigsaw puzzle, and you're told that's the whole story. That is not the whole story, and you really need to get the rest of it straight. It's more than what can be covered in that 15-minute news segment, the 30-second news segment, or even it's more than 60 minutes could even cover. This is going to take, this takes months and months and months, sometimes years of research to compile this information before they're going after that person.
Billy Joe.
Yes. So I want to know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
So,
well, let me ask this: if they, and I know you got a lot of notes, so we'll get past this. But this is this first little topic we're talking about. I know was not necessarily their topic, but did they comment on? Okay, so every time there's a policy change, there's a new rule, ATF new rule. How do they ever comment kind of how that affects them? You know, let's go to the shouldering the AR. Like, you can't, now you can again, now you can't again. Like, how, I mean, because that's got to be hard as a cop, I would think.
It is. It's difficult. We are constantly changing definitions and shifting the lexicon of what we perceive as, oh, this is right. Oh, well, this lawyer tells me that it could be construed in this way, and now we're going to go with it like this.
Right.
So, I mean, you have constantly shifting definitions, revisions, and of amendments and constitutional rights on things, and
did anybody comment? I know you can't mention names. You already said that you can't say names. But did anybody mention kind of how that affects them? Like, is that did it come up or anything?
They don't like it at all. They do not care for it at all. I know you guys are really awesome. And thank you so much for doing your job, for educating those of us that are here to do this lawfully and legally, and to make it easier for me to explain to everyone else that comes in all that information too. I'm gonna do my best. I am not a lawyer. It's taken these guys decades of work with constantly shifting definitions and everything to be at the point where they are now, to teach us, and they're trying to cram it all into our heads in a brief little 2 or 3 hour time frame right there. So it's more than one can consume in one sitting, and it's a lot to unpack even in the notes and everything. So I'll do my best. So,
do you mind if I ask if this came, and again, we may be talking about this, I apologize if I'm getting ahead of myself, but while we're kind of talking about how the ATF feels about the boots on the ground portion of the ATF. When there was the White House policy of last year, or the last regime, there was this seemingly zero tolerance on gun store inspections. Which had to also kind of be hard, because and something that you've always communicated to me is that there was always before that this partnership with the ATF. Like, if there was a mistake, they would help you figure out how to not make that mistake again.
They are
now, so how has that changed on the ground? Like,
they are now able to use more discretion. It's not just now the rules say this, and we have to follow these exact rules, and by this definition, you were being pretty stinking bad. You screwed up here, you have ways to check, to recheck. And there was an acceptable margin of error, but during that zero tolerance policy, that acceptable margin of error became even slimmer. And so a lot of people with FFLs lost their license for things that would have been just a minor infraction, and a checkup later in a set number of months to come back and say, hey, we're back. Let's see how you've been doing since we've been gone. We left you all this information. Please call us, contact us if you need anything. And if you have any questions, if you need any help, here's our number. Please call us. Here's our email. Please let us know. And we are doing our best to help you on this. And a lot of people have it in their heads that we're from the government. We're here to help, right?
Generally speaking, the big picture of this place, before we get into the detail of what they talked about, was that agents seem to be pretty happy about the change. It's very frustrating and difficult for them to be on the ground and have to deal with rule changes, and they feel a sense of, all right, now we can actually just do our job and really focus on the bad guys.
Yes, that's really what they want to be doing, and
sure.
they
They're
are
cops. Quick, if you want to try this, we were talking about this. This is a drink my friend made. It's Trinidad scorpion peppers. I just want to curious what you think, because you like hot stuff, don't you?
I like hot stuff. I get some weird looks when I tell people that I put cayenne pepper in my coffee.
Oh, really? That is kind of strange.
Thank you. No, so it started out with cayenne pepper and cinnamon and hot chocolate, and it kind of snowballed from there, and now I like the spicy. It's so nice.
Yeah, so he sent these specifically. There was a guy that came to my house last night and just dropped them off, said these are for Mark, because he just wanted you to try it. He said he'd send you some.
Made in the USA. All right, it doesn't say refrigerate or anything like that. Let's go.
All right, cheers.
Clink clink. I like that he actually puts a warning on here. Do not consume if you are sensitive to spicy foods, allergic to peppers or capsaicin, or are pregnant or have medical conditions. Please seek medical assistance should you experience difficulty breathing, fainting, or extended nausea.
Uh-oh.
I like this.
It's pretty good. I like it too. I couldn't eat a Trinidad scorpion pepper, so I think this is a reasonable alternative.
I don't do like... I don't do this. I won't eat the peppers like directly. If when they're cooked in something. Yeah.